You got to talk to me. I'm going to switch gears here for a second. You're a very interesting guy, Al Roker. You went on a plane. I read about this. And there you are on this plane, and Alex Van Halen, the great drummer of Van Halen, is on the plane. And you're sitting...
along with Eddie Van Halen.
Along with Eddie Van Halen.
And their wives.
They all fly coach.
No, we were in first class.
First class going to what, L.A.?
We were coming back from L.A.
Right. Wouldn't you think Van Halen has so much money they'd fly a private jet?
That's what I thought.
That's what I thought, too. All right. So anyway, you're in first class.
Right.
It's a 3-seat... It's 3 seats next to each other.
It's 2 seats.
Yeah.
1 center seat. This is American Airlines. 2 seats, 1 seat, 2 seats. And there are 2 rows of those.
Okay. So you're sitting next to Alex Van Halen.
Right.
Okay. His wife is sitting in the center.
Right.
They say to you... Mr. Roker, I don't know who says it to you, the stewardess?
Yeah. Well, actually, this started in the Admirals Club. Right. You know, the nice lady at the front desk says, Mr. Roker, Eddie Van Halen. No, she says, there's a family traveling together, and they were wondering if you wanted to switch seats. And I said, is it a mom and a kid? And she said, well, no. I said, well, which seat? She said, well, it's that center seat, 2C. I said, I hate that seat. I said,
why do you hate that seat?
Because you're in the bulkhead.
Yeah.
And people cross in front of you. And we're coming back. It's a red eye.
Right.
You know.
So you might want to sleep.
I'm trying to get some sleep. I take it's not a red eye. It was the 4 o'clock flight.
Right.
But I'm trying to get some sleep because I got to get up for the Today Show.
Right. Smart man.
So people come across. So nobody likes that seat.
You're right, because people bonk into you.
Yeah, you know, they cross in front. So
it's a 6-hour flight. You're saying, hey, the reason you probably chose your seat ahead of time.
Oh, yeah. Booked my seat.
You booked your seat. Yeah. You said, hey, I want to sit. You're on what? On the aisle?
I was on the aisle.
Nice.
I like the aisle.
You like the aisle?
I like the aisle.
Okay, and that's the seat you wanted.
Exactly.
So far, I'm with you.
Yeah. So,
all right.
The nice lady says, there's a family traveling. I said, parents and kids? No, it's a husband and wife. I said, but it's that center seat. She says, well, it's Eddie Van Halen.
I said, hey, so what?
Okay.
Yeah, right. Okay. Eddie Van Halen.
I'm Al Roker.
You know? Yeah. Hey, I'm on the Today Show. You know? What? My shit doesn't stink too.
Yeah. I go into the Admirals Club, and this guy comes. Now I don't know what Eddie Van Halen looks like.
Right. You're not a Van Halen fan.
Yeah.
Right. Hot for teacher, none of that.
It doesn't matter. He's not Bon Jovi.
Okay. You're more of a Bon Jovi
I like
guy.
the Bon Jovi. Okay. Anyway, and Bon Jovi would probably be flying private.
Right. Had it been Bon Jovi, would you have given up your seat?
Probably.
Maybe.
But anyway, so this guy, hey, Al, Eddie Van Halen. Hi, Eddie. How you doing? So you're the man coming between my brother and his wife. I said, excuse me? What? Huh? I said, well, you know, you're sitting next to Alex and my brother. And Alex, hi, Al. And he goes, I said, yeah, you know, Eddie, that middle seat, it's just bad, and I got to get some sleep.
Well, why doesn't Eddie give you his seat if he's got?
Well, that's the thing. Yeah. So anyway, the long and short of it is we get in the plane, and his wife gets on, Alex Van Halen's wife gets on, and is pitching a fit. She's just really upset. And she says out loud for people to say, this is the worst seat on the plane.
Yeah. But she wants you to take it.
Yeah, I should take it?
Right.
Really?
Yeah, you should give up your seat.
Somebody should take it besides her.
No, I think not.
What's wrong with people? Excuse my French. I know you're a clean guy.
Well, by the way, why don't you switch? Why doesn't Eddie switch with you?
Right.
You know?
So she's causing a ruckus on the plane.
Causing a ruckus. The flight attendant is...
and now you're probably like ready to kill yourself because you're a very unassuming guy.
I just want to get on the plane.
And you would have helped them out if it was a comparable seat.
Or if it was you know what? If it was a mother and a child or a father,
you would have done it
in a second.
Right.
In a second.
Because you'd want someone to do that.
But these two nudniks don't need to stick.
Right.
Yeah. It's like, you know, guess what? You're going to hopefully spend the rest of your lives together. 6 hours.
You'll get through it.
This has happened with me and Deborah. You know, and secretly I know Deborah is thrilled that we're not sitting together.
Yeah. Probably Alex was happy to sit next to you.
Yeah.
Alex wasn't screaming.
And by the way,
Alex was just sitting there.
Alex could not have been nicer. Could not have been, you could tell he was mortified by his wife's behavior. You could tell it.
I mean, he had to put up with Eddie Van Halen's behavior, David Lee Roth's behavior. Now he's got a wife who carries on.
The special services person comes over and says, Mr. Roker, we have another seat over there at 3B. If you could you? I said, and I look over, and there's a guy with a dog. And I'm allergic to dogs.
Right.
I don't want to sit next to this guy with a dog.
I mean,
I said, you know, I can't. There's a dog. If you could, she goes, well, I can't move the guy with the dog. I said, well, I'm
sorry.
So, you know, and then we get back.
How long did she carry on for?
Oh, so just is throwing things down.
Did he throw her off the plane?
He gets up and he's trying to console her. He offers to switch with her. He goes, I don't want to sit next to him.
What is wrong with you? What did you do wrong?
I smell pretty good. I'm fine.
I don't want to sit next to him.
Yeah, so anyway, the flight attendant comes back to them and says, we found 2 people in business who are willing to move and switch. So these 2 guys, these 2 brothers who were getting ready to go to Antarctica, come get their seats.
Yeah.
And by the way, she insulted them.
Why?
Because they weren't getting out of the chair fast enough.
Wow.
So Alex went back into business class with his wife and had to sit there with her, and he gave up his first class seat.
Exactly.
And then you got seated next to one of the brothers.
Yeah, which was nice.
Which is fine.
They were lovely people. Yeah.
And did you, when something like that is going on around you, because you seem like a together guy, but what do you feel inside?
It's like, I'm just trying to get home.
You did all the right stuff.
I didn't do anything.
Yeah.
And then, of course, their people, when we got back, leaks it to the New York Post, to page 6.
Yeah, and they positioned it like you were being
I was the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm the bad guy? Wait a minute.
Wait a second.
Last I checked, my company, NBC, paid for this ticket.
Right.
Just like you may have. And guess what? Here's a new concept. Book ahead. And
how about the concept like, hey, guess what? You can't always get what you want.
Yeah, and you know what? It's like my 9-year-olds. You get what you get. You don't get upset.
Right.
And you know what? If you want to fly together, you're Eddie Van Halen. Get a freaking private plane.
Or book it in advance and get it together.
Or, guess what? Suck it up, put on your big girl pants, and shut up.
Why do you think they press released it?
I think they just were embarrassed. I think they were angry. They wanted to get back.
Was the wife hot at least? Was she something to look at?
Well, she was hot.
Well,
she was throwing things.
You can look at it.
Was she attractive?
Look at there's some pictures of her and Alex online.
Yeah.
And in every picture, she looks like somebody took a whiz in her Cheerios. It's
like a big sour punch.
Why are you upset? You're married to a rock star, for God's sake.
Calm down. You got a lot of dough.
Down.
And he's the drummer, no less.
Yeah, he's
but
the
that
drummer.
entitlement that she should have a great seat.
Like, please.
I love that.
He is in Van Halen.
I just like that they press released it.
I know.
I can't believe it.
Really?
Well, they decided she made a big stink, and they thought maybe that would come out, so they went first strike.
That's right. And it's like, to me, it's like I had forgotten. My lovely press person at NBC, Megan, calls and says, "This is what page 6 is." I said, I'm not commenting. I don't care.
Right.
I'm not going to.
No, you took the high road. Like, hey, this is good for you.
And
what an upsetting thing.
It was on the heels of the Alec Baldwin thing.
Right.
And so it's like, look at these NBC people, they're crazy. Yeah.
Well, does that stick with you though? Like you take the high road, you don't call back page 6, you don't comment on it anywhere. No. What does that do to you inside? Like, do you go to bed fuming that night?
It's like, you know what? God bless you.
Could you sleep on the plane?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, there's the wife.
It didn't bother you.
She's not some sex pot. She's a nice-looking woman.
Nice lady.
Yeah,
she would look a lot better if she wasn't angry.
Well, can you imagine being married into the Van Halen situation?
I don't know.
That's a tough situation.
Yeah, and look at him. Look at how nice.
He looks happy.
He's happy. He's happy.
And she's carrying on
She's going on like a whirling dervish.
Oh, my God.
It's like a Tasmanian devil.
Well, because she can't sit next to Alex Van Halen.
Yeah, I know.
And that means all her juice is gone because no one's carrying on because she's with Alex Van Halen.
It's the 4 o'clock flight back to New York.
Close your eyes, go to sleep, you'll be in New York.
And guess what? There were people waiting for them, to do the autograph.
When you come home, do you tell your wife this whole story?
I didn't even tell her.
You didn't?
No.
What is that?
Because, you know what? Because
that would be my whole life.
Because you know what? Once it was done, I didn't even think about it.
You know what? It's very together of you because I would have sat there on the plane all nervous and getting red, and I would have been like,
I went to sleep.
And then I'd get home and I'd get a hold of my wife. You're not going to believe with this. And Alex Van Halen and the New York Post put it in. And I get crazy from stuff like that.
When Megan called me I was like, what are you talking? Oh my gosh, the plane? Really?